Hi friends, I hope you had a wonderful Easter and a nice little spring break. This week we're actually going to be learning about the season of spring, and we're going to talk about the weather that we see in the springtime and animals. I thought I would share with you this magazine today, Swing into Spring. It says, "Let's give a cheer, warm weather is here. Let's play on a swing, it's finally spring." Yeah, we see a little boy, he's swinging on a swing. Now, it's kind of rainy today. You're probably not able to play outside much today, but the springtime is when it starts to warm up and we can play outside. Let's find out what else happens in the springtime. It says the best thing about spring. What's the best thing about spring? Do you think it's flying kites? Do you like to fly kites in the spring? I'm hoping for a windy day here soon so we can fly some kites. What's the best thing about spring? Is it seeing baby birds and other baby animals hatching or being born and growing? What's the best thing about spring? Is it smelling flowers? There's a fox down here and he's smelling flowers. I love smelling flowers too. What's the best thing about spring? Is it splashing in puddles? Oh, today might be a perfect day for splashing in puddles. Over here it says first flowers of spring. Did you know that you can plant a flower bulb in the fall, back in the fall, way before winter, and the bulb sits in the cold soil in the ground all winter long, and then in the spring the sunshine warms up the soil, the roots start to grow down, and a green stem and leaves sprout up, and a flower begins to bloom. And here are some of the flowers that you might see first in spring. You might see crocuses, daffodils, and tulips. Those are just some of the flowers that might be blooming around your house right now, the first flowers of spring. Well, I have a video to share with you, also from Scholastic, about the sounds of spring. Let's watch it together.
What are all those sounds? They're some of the sounds of spring. Spring is the season that comes right after winter. In winter, much of the United States is cold and still. Animals hibernate. Trees have lost their leaves. The ground is frozen. But in spring, everything warms up and wakes up. And if you listen closely, you can hear sounds of spring all around. This tiny frog is called a spring peeper.
We have some of those at our house.
It is one of the first animals to wake up from its winter sleep.
Have you heard any spring peepers? We have.
These frogs are so tiny, one can fit on the tip of your finger. Spring peepers may be small, but they are loud. Their throats make a bubble when they peep. In spring, you're likely to hear birds sing early in the morning. They start singing about an hour before the sun comes up.
We've
Some
heard
birds sing to tell other birds, "I'm here. This is my territory." Spring is also a time when baby birds are hatching. They sing to let their parents know they are hungry. That's the sound of someone sneezing. In spring, many people get runny, itchy noses, and they achoo! In spring, there is a lot of pollen, and pollen makes many people sneeze. Pollen is a yellow, powdery grain that is made by trees and flowers. Because it is warmer in spring, flowers are blooming everywhere. Trees are growing new leaves, and the flowers and trees are making a lot of pollen. That's the sound of spring rain. Spring is one of the rainiest times of the year. But that's good news for all the plants that are growing. They need rainwater to grow big and strong. And that's the sound of boots splashing in spring. When all that spring rain mixes with the warmer spring soil on the ground, it makes mud. I think this doggy is going to need a bath.
I think so.
So when you hear the peeping of a frog, the tweeting of baby birds, the pitter-patter of rain, the splashing of mud puddles, and people sneezing all around you, you'll know spring is finally here.
Have you heard any of those sounds, boys and girls? I know I have. And there's a saying. Remember how we said at the beginning of March, March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb? Well, there's a saying for April. April showers bring May flowers. And today's a perfect example. It's raining a bunch, but that rain is good for the plants and flowers to grow. And when the sun comes out, the sun and the water mixed together will help those plants really to bloom and grow this spring. Okay, well, let's have fun today learning about spring. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye, kiddos.